What's up, y'all? Yeah, it's no one on here right now. But I told y'all earlier that I was gonna do funeral chronicles. And I'm gonna do them. So this one is a specific one. Now, me and Mr. George, we worked together for a long time at the HD. And my guy he was just a cool old white guy. Like, the nigga, he loved, like, Lil Wayne, and he'd be dancing at the parties and stuff like that. And he was just a cool old white guy. Loved him. He had his family, all of that. It was just, like, really, really cool. And, like, I saw him that same day that he died. The same exact day. Because I worked that morning shift and he worked that night shift. So when we was leaving out, when I was leaving out, he was coming in. Okay? So mind you, I didn't really get to speak to him too much because once I clock out and I stay in the building too long, I get itchy. Like, I get like I can't stay too long. That's why I try to, like, get my products and stuff if I'm going to buy something from the store beforehand and go and put it in the car, because if I have to stay in there when I'm not getting paid, I get, like, real itchy and shit like that. So I had saw him in passing. You know, we did our usual greet and stuff like that. But then the crazy thing about it is a customer car had caught on fire. So now we in the parking lot like, oh, damn. We in the parking lot like this. Now, Mr. George, he was a white guy, but he was a white guy with swag. He may have been like, what, 68, something like that. I got to look at the obituary. But at the same time, my guy was like hella cool. Like I said, love rap, was in the Steelers, he was in a motorcycle club, all that type of stuff. Like, he was just like just the overall cool guy, you know. I hate motorcycles. I don't know about anybody else, but that's just not, like, I love the people that's in motorcycle clubs. As far as, you know, they always get together, they, you know, commune, they have a good time and stuff like that. But actually getting on one of them motorcycles, I ain't finna do that. I need some protection. Especially as many wrecks as I get in. Damn, you can die from a car wreck, but, you know, motorcycle, it's kind of like known too many people. I'm gonna just say that, you know. Not to make light of the situation, but I'm just saying. But I heard it's good on gas. R.I.P. But the story, and the more, that's just the background. The more of the story is of the funeral. So he dies. They hit him. They still ain't found who hit him. He dies instantly off the motorcycle when he was leaving work. That same night I saw him. So then we have his funeral. Okay. Things, you know, happen. And mind you, I'm from the hood. So I have not really been to a lot of white people's funerals. You know, the last one was a white funeral. This one is a white funeral. And it was interesting. You know, first of all, you could tell that the nigga that was doing the ceremony, the preacher who did, like, you know, supposed to be the grandpa, he didn't know shit about George. He didn't know George at all, and he was just making up shit. You could basically tell that. You know, George wasn't like no religious dude or nothing, so it wasn't like at a cathedral or whatever place that would be going. It was shit. It was at the place where they made it. You know, So I go into the funeral home, and I see George, and looked nice. Everything was still lit. They had the music playing. It was cool. And then I was like, okay, well, it's not a lot of people. I don't see nobody. They was like, oh, no, you need to go over there into the next room. And in the next room, these folks had a spread of, like, lunch meat and, like, edible stuff and all of this, and still things on it, and another still music playing, and all this type stuff, footballs. And I'm just like, so what we gonna do? We gonna eat? So I just viewed the body, and now I'm gonna eat, like immediately afterward. If y'all would have known that, like, I would have just went to the food first, and then I could have saw that nigga before they closed the casket for the last time. Like, that's traumatizing. Like, in black communities, we don't do that. Like, the repast is the repast, and the repast is after they in the ground, or at least, under, or not in your presence. So I was already perplexed. And then none of my black coworkers had showed up at this time. And I didn't know none of them white folks. So I didn't want them to love country, war me, or anything like that. I didn't want to be bought into, I don't know. So I sat at a table by myself, and all the white people was eating their bologna and they mayonnaise. The mayonnaise people was eating mayonnaise and bologna on the plate. And I was just sitting over there waiting on somebody to come. Just waiting. And then his daughter came. And when I swear, I don't even watch Lifetime. But it was like a Lifetime movie. His daughter came, blonde hair. She had on a nice little suit, black suit, with her black glasses on, with her little son that was like, had to be about 6 or 7, with his little black suit on. And she walked up to me and she was just like, did you work with my father? And I was like, I had me some cheese and some olives and shit, and some little strawberries. And I was like, I worked with him. And she was like, he's supposed to be at my son's football game next week. What will I do? What will I do? Now, mind you, I'm at a whole goddamn round-ass table with like 10 seats by myself with my cheese and olives. And I'm just looking around like, ooh, if somebody don't come get her, what the hell am I supposed to say to her? What am I supposed to do? I'm like, it's gonna be all right. You gonna be all right? Like, somebody help. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, I got very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. But it worked out at the end. Because this when Mr. Walt came in. He was the other white nigga that I work with. And he, kind of like drifted her away because she just would not leave. Like, she was just standing there with the little boy crying. She sobbing, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you do? What you want me to do? I'm sitting here trying to eat some bologna and mayonnaise. And I'm like, I know, you just lost he gonna do good at the football game. They gonna win. Shit. Don't do people like that. Don't do people like that. I know it be stressful. I lost my mom, so I know. But don't put that pressure on somebody. Unless, at least if I was sitting with somebody, it'd be cool. But none of my coworkers had showed up. And I'm sitting there by myself, just like black as hell. the only black person, you know, and I'm not scared of white people or nothing like that, but it was just like very obvious that they was like, well, nigga, that shit on you. That's not on us. You know, I ain't finna be dealing with that. So they just left me hanging. I'm like, come on, my mayonnaise brothers. Y'all can't help a brother out in this situation. She's literally up here bawling. And it's before the funeral started. Then when the funeral started, it didn't get no better. Because then all the black folks showed up and showed out. And then they crying, they doing all this, and the white folks looking like, what's so sad? Insurance policies. You got money now. I mean, why are people crying? I don't understand, you know. And I gotta get on that white wave. Like, one thing about it, they gonna get their money when somebody die. And that insurance money be setting up generations. So I'm probably gonna call my sister. You know, her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. And just, you know, like ask her for a social and, you know, get like a couple $100,000 policy on her. I'm not gonna do nothing to her. I ain't gonna do nothing to her. Once she signed them papers, I mean, I ain't gonna do nothing to her. I'm not. But yeah, that's how they be coming up. They don't be caring. That's why them white folks, they be in the ground in 2 days. 2 days. Now, why it take black folks 3 weeks to bury somebody? Now, I know y'all got to do fish fries and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the folks with insurance money. Because, first of all, we had insurance money for my mom and stuff like that. So, you know, the first call I got, and that was so disrespectful. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, if you know what you know, then you know it. But the first call I get was, so I mean, my food stamps I can put in on the fish fry to raise money. Why you assume that we need to raise money? Huh? You just assume that? No. We good. We got it. After that incident, I made sure I had 2 insurance policies. Just one for my peoples and one for that, because I'm telling you, that's how you come up. And okay, I'm going to stop. I'm ranting now. But yeah, that's how you come up in life, in real life. Like, get that on your auntie that you know she got diabetes and heart failure. And after 2 years, it's like a premium rate, and then you can get... I know you shouldn't think of your family like that, but come on, people, let's get smart. Let's wake up, okay? Let's wake up. If you're going to lose somebody, might as well get paid for it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But that was my story about Mr. George. Great guy. Still a funeral. Daughter scared me. But everything else went, you know, accordingly to plan. I hope that they find those folks that, you know, hit him. And that's Funeral Chronicles.